Howdy y'all, I'm Wayne from Dallas, Texas, and I react to all things UK. Sitting here today, I've got a video called How to Enjoy a British Pub by DW Food. I'll put a link in the channel description. So, I saw in one of the other videos that one of the guys said, oh, Americans want to enjoy things that you have there, like English pubs, and I'm certainly interested in the English pub. Now we have some here that are called English pubs, but when you go in them, outside of maybe they've got a few English beers, they mostly look like sports bars. A lot of times they're decorated with like NFL teams and sports are always on the TV. There might be darts there. Maybe you'll see a British flag, but a lot of times you don't even see that, but they're called English pubs. So I'm super curious about this video and see what it's really like at an English pub. Let's get going.
British pubs work. Do you order at the table? Are you expected to tip? And when is closing time?
Hi, I'm Ali Ross, the landlady at the Coach and Horses here in London, and I will be here to help you understand what the pub is all about.
The Coach and Horses is located in the Soho district in central London. Many of its patrons stop by in the afternoon right after work, mainly on Thursdays or Fridays.
There's a sense of a community in a British pub.
It's a social thing where people can interact and let the hair down, relax.
It's like an extended family.
It's quite a British thing. Any opportunity you can do, you go to the pub.
So what should foreign visitors know?
They look like they're having a good time.
We often get a lot of people from typically Europe come in and either ask for a free table or sit down at a table and wait to be served. And this is not typical in England. Typically people go straight to the bar and order and then go to a table.
Okay, so you just walk right in, sit down.
Different kinds of beer can
go to the bar and order.
As some aren't known abroad.
We'll start off with London Pride.
Guinness.
It's a real ale or a hand pull ale. They're naturally carbonated, unlike lagers where CO2 is put into the barrel. And they have a little bit of a biscuity, malty finish. Let's try a lager. If people want something that's cold and refreshing and they don't want too much flavour maybe, they don't want anything that's too hop forward, or they don't want a real ale that might be a little bit warmer, then go for a lager for sure. So here we have cider, a drink.
What do you like, a lager?
Apples, the pressing and the fermentation of apples. You're drinking pints over ice. A lot of the time people like it really super cold. Something that's very popular at the moment is Guinness. It is from Dublin, of course. The flavor
that beer I
is,
recognize. We have Guinness here. They probably serve them at the English pubs we have in Dallas.
So it's actually quite pleasant on the palate.
Beer is always ordered by the pint. 1 pint is just over half a liter. How many do folks typically drink?
Somewhere between 6 and 10, probably.
A few, but not too many. You need to know your limits, I suppose. I can be a power drinker when I want to, or I can just have a couple like today.
7 or 8 pints and then go for dinner somewhere.
Here are some do's and don'ts when ordering at the bar.
I can't drink that much.
Don't want people waving in your face. It can be quite rude actually, especially the waving of a card or money or something. So yeah, just wait patiently for your turn, and people are usually quite respectful of this in the pub.
And here's another tip.
Yeah, no problem.
You can't just
Wait patiently.
and buy a drink for yourself. If you're in a group of people, you offer to buy around.
And if you don't, that stays with you for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You are remembered as the person who...
I guess you can drink outside, like in the street. In the U.S., it depends on where you live. Sometimes you can't
with
do
a long
that.
and storied past. In London, John Warland of Liquid History Tours shows visitors these pubs and explains their functions in British society.
The need for warmth,
The old
shelter,
Cheshire
food, companionship
cheese.
as a meeting place is probably 2,000 years old in the format we know today. A lot of the
Is that
pubs
a
we
pub
visit
name?
are probably of a Victorian era when they probably hit their heyday. So that kind of stems from the mid-1800s.
Pub is short for public house, meaning a place that's open to everybody.
The best thing about a pub is it's welcome to everyone. Young, old, rich, poor. You could be the CEO of a...
Now, I did know that it was short for public house. I learned this reading Dickens, maybe some other stories, but I did know what pub stood for, so that's something.
Finance, bank, or you could be a guy who's been cleaning the streets. For anybody who can walk through the door, pay for the price of a humble pint of beer, you can share the same space.
Also typical for a British pub, many of the regulars live nearby and the atmosphere is informal. That's also reflected in the decor.
So typically in British pubs, you'll find a lot of wood and then a mixture of textures as well. So like here, we've got an Axminster carpet, and the carpet sort of adds elements and an extension of the home, somewhere that's made for comfort, and yeah, just a little bit more sort of familiarity maybe that you might find from your home.
Something else to note, in pubs you generally aren't expected to tip.
A lot of our regular customers often buy the team drinks, but I think, you know, places like America, the tipping policy over there is completely different to how it is here. So if we're offered a drink, then we'll just pop it on their bill, charge them accordingly, and just print the receipt and leave it for later. So we've got just a lot of receipts up there.
Anyone who comes to a pub should also know when it's time to go.
20 minutes to 11, we'll ring the bell for last orders and shout that out, last orders. And then again at 11 o'clock to mark the final closure, we'll ring the bell again. Guests aren't particularly always happy to leave. Obviously, you want to continue the party.
So
but typically they'll, you know, finish up their pints promptly and be on their way.
What's it like where you live? Where do you go to socialize? And what do you drink while you're there? Tell us in the comments.
Okay, so that was pretty cool. I guess our pubs here do tend to have wood and carpet. I guess they're trying to mimic the English pub. I think you have a lot of beers that we don't have here, obviously. So I could see that would be one difference. It looks like a good time, like everybody's getting along, having a community, like the one person said there. I think I would enjoy a British pub. I think they're probably a lot different than anything that we have here. The tipping thing is just, you know, ingrained in me as someone who's worked in the service industry in the past, that you gotta tip something. I would just feel really weird to not tip something. So that was a great video. If you can get a chance, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.